In terms of the way that that you should look at these things if you're launching a new web business or if you're looking at an existing one to see what you can do, researching your idea is vital. I mean, I at least had a bit of experience about the marketplace. My biggest concern always is fraud, because as an internet business, I carry 100% risk for fraud. So I'm always on the lookout for fraudulent credit card transactions. That's one of the pitfalls for my business. I have to be red hot on what is you know, a genuine transaction and what is not a genuine transaction. And you can actually get your payment gateway people to actually help you with that, which is fantastic, where they can actually provide you with a much more detailed information about the person who's buying on your website, in terms of you know, their address, their you know, whether the card was from another country, which is a scam that's going around at the moment. Cards stolen in Germany, because they don't have the same, Germany is a country that don't yet have the same links to registering with addresses and so on. The security is much lower. They steal the card in Germany. They're on the internet within an hour trying to buy stuff. It's absolutely incredible how fast that moves. And as soon as that, oh, country doesn't match, we're automatically highly suspicious that this is not a genuine transaction. Things like that, okay? Definitely the biggest one for us, check out the competition. Know what the others are doing. You can't necessarily take all of them on head on all the time, but you have to know what they're good at, what they're not good at. Before I did my business, I bought a few things just to see, just low-cost things. Didn't have to buy the expensive things, just low-cost things, phoned them up, bought a few things, got them delivered, what worked, what didn't work, what were they good at, what were they not good at. And I learned a lot just by spending a few pounds, doing a few transactions, because you can't get any better than what is actually someone is delivering and what they're actually doing, rather than just sort of looking at their website and saying, well, they look good. You know, they seem to know what they're talking about. So that worked very well. Supply channels that embrace your strategy. I couldn't believe how many of my suppliers in the early days were just not interested in dealing with internet companies. It was incredible. And the ones we did find that worked with us, they were fantastic, and they really embraced the idea, same as I had for my business. But a lot of these guys just didn't want to know. I was saying to someone earlier, you go to a trade show and you'd be going around and you'd be saying, oh, I'm interested in selling your product. I think we can do 100 grand a business or whatever. And as soon as they found out you were internet, there was a physical step back. Oh, internet? Sorry, I have something on my shoe. It appears to be you, you know? Because they were scared of what that meant for their traditional business. There's a fear factor there. And it's taken more recent years that these guys have suddenly started to think, well, actually, we can't ignore it anymore. We've tried to ignore it. We thought it would go away. We thought the internet would shrivel up and die, but it hasn't. And as the figures you saw earlier show, it's growing all the time. The internet business is growing, and it can't be ignored. But finding the right suppliers who want to get on board with that makes a massive difference. You're not spending your whole day trying to convince people why they should give you a good price. So finding the right suppliers, crucial. And distribution partners. I've probably been through about 7 or 8 different distribution partners, just finding the right ones that will actually not only, yes, they'll get the thing delivered, but they'll also carry through my ethos on what I want from my, you know, I'm obviously trying to do a good job talking to my customers, but then if some hairy-arsed individual, for want of a better term, turns up with a thing and it makes a complete mess of it, it's not good, you know, because that's my brand, that guy's carrying, you know, and we went through quite a few, chopping and changing, until we found the right partners who would deliver us a really, really good result and carry through our brand right the way through. Because at the end of the day, the customer doesn't care that you've employed a third-party delivery company. They see your brand going right through into their house. So for small parcels, it's easy, just pick a good quality courier. But for larger items, those guys won't do that. You have to find people who want to do a good job for you, to be able to deliver to all places. You know, one of the companies I worked with, you know, they said, oh, yeah, we can do all the things you want. And that was fine. So we got started. First order, Truro. Oh, we don't go to Truro. You don't go to Truro? What's wrong with Truro? Oh, that's too far. You know, so simple lessons like that, you know, just because people live in remote areas. They're more likely to use the internet than people in busy towns and where they've got retail parks and so on. And it was just incredible, you know. So we learned a lot of lessons finding the right people. And then marketing the product carefully, making sure that when you're putting your products out there that you are actually putting them in the right areas. It can get very expensive if you promote things in the wrong places. The guys have talked about different ways of promoting. I mean, we would use a lot of comparison sites and so on. And it can get expensive if you're not careful, because obviously if your price is only 5th or 6th in the list, and you're still putting yourself out there, people are still going to click on it for information. They're still going to click on your site, and every time they do, it's costing you money. So you have to be a bit selective and say, well, no, we'll put this one on, which we know will work, and we'll put the other products beside them so that people will still find them, but we won't be spending an absolute fortune. And same with Google AdWords and so on. It can get very expensive. And customer service is still king. It absolutely is. Our business is based on customer service as much as anything else. Although we're an internet business, which can be perceived as a faceless kind of business, it's not. People want to phone up, they want to talk to you, they want to understand what your business is about. And if you can deliver good customer service, your business will develop online as well as in retail environments and so on, service businesses, etc.